think you're drunk.
Yeah. Hey, it's the Scotch Test Dummies. I'm Scott.
I was peeking. I'm Bart.
Reek, 21-year-old.
Reek.
Mayor Reek.
Ooh, Scotch It.
Test it.
Just switched it up. You want
That's
to
good, huh? Nope, that was it. People are going to be like,
yeah, they'll be like, what the hell was that? He did the end at the beginning.
Scotch It.
What's he going to do at the end? Is he going to yell, test it at the end? Maybe.
All right. This is Macnair's Reek. A while back, we did the cask strength Reek, which was, I don't remember if it was labeled a 10-year or a 12-year, or if it was just cask strength.
Good point.
This is Billy Walker.
I love Billy Walker.
Peated blend.
What?
From Glenallachie. This is a blend of Glenallachie and Isla whiskeys. Wow. If it's and maybe some Highland if it's like the other. So let's see real quick because I haven't looked. We did try this. We opened it. We tried it. Billy Walker.
You mean?
Oh, me and Dustin and I at R&J Discount Liquor here in Wichita.
What do you got?
Well, I was gonna say Billy Walker was at Glendronach, brought them up to greatness with the sherry.
Greatness.
They sold Glenallachie. He went to or Glendronach. He went to Glenallachie, working there now.
48%, 700 milliliter.
Yep.
I'm just letting you compose.
Let's just see if it says here real quick because the other one was openly a blend. This one is blended malt Scotch whiskey, but I'm looking to see the cask strength Reek said a blend of Speyside and Isla whiskeys and maybe Highlands. Wow. So I'm just going to let me look at the fine print here.
I will. The nose is, wow, I almost got a little bit of, what was that, dark fruit? And is it cumin? There's like a deeper spice. I feel like I walked into a spice shop.
Billy has sourced the finest vintage Speyside and Isla single malts, then blended with aged Glenallachie. So you're going to have Glenallachie, some other Speysides, and some Isla whiskeys in that in this. So 21 years old, 48% ABV. Wow. Nice, but I don't remember we did cask strength. But I don't remember if it was labeled 10-year or 12-year or just cask strength.
Well, I like everything he's doing, so I'm anticipating I'm going to enjoy it. What do you get on the nose?
All right. Well, you gave me a healthy pour.
Tried it. It's close.
Actually, cherries. A smoked cherry. Really? Smoked cherry cordial.
Okay.
Yeah, peat. Definitely some peat on the nose. Not real.
Yeah, it doesn't
strong.
Scream peat to me.
No, there's some though. A smoked cherry covered chocolate cordial.
I like your description. That's good. That's different.
Yeah.
Caught me off guard a little bit. It's got this earthy kind of tone to it as well.
Honeyed.
Yeah.
Fruity.
I'm going in.
Yep. Light. I'll say lighter peats, but not light. Heavier than light.
Wow. There's a lot going on with this blend. On the forefront, I picked up what kind of reminded me of like a Bowmore peat touch with a little bit more of a stringent peat, but it's very faint and then it wisped away. You go, because I'm going to have to catch mid-pellet.
I don't know about it wisping away. There's definitely peat there. It hit. I mean, it's still. This isn't peat heavy. This isn't a peat monster. This is a nice melding of peat and sherry here. You get, to me, I get peat from the start well into the finish. I'm still tasting. But it's not a heavy, punchy in the face peat. It's just it's there.
It's closer to a barrel char peat.
Rich fruit.
Like a fruit medley.
A fruit medley, fruit cocktail.
Yeah.
Syrupy, juicy.
Okay. A little bit of the syrup thickness.
Yeah. Yeah. Almost a little bit more Pedro Jimenez than Oloroso.
The peat definitely feels like a smoky, wispy peat. Is water going to open it up for me?
Sometimes your peat palate
Yes.
is weird
I know.
because we did that Glenlivet 3-bottle Spectra series.
Right.
And one bottle had a very, very faint hint of peat, and you picked it up early. You're like, Pete, there's peat on
Peat
this
in
one.
it or barrel char.
And it took me a little bit to get there. Now, this one is heavier in peat, and you're like, oh, there's a wisp of peat. I'm like, no, there's more. There's more than
To
that.
me, it's not. I would. I don't know. I'd have to try that Spectra number 2 if I would compare the two. But to me,
Oh, no. Completely
like I said,
different.
I
I'm
told
not
you.
saying compare them. No.
Yeah, I know. But I got a little bit of what I thought was a Bowmore peat on the front, which is a little bit more for me. It's my least favorite peat, so maybe that's part of it. But it feels like it's earthier and a little more acidic on the forefront. And then it tails out, and the peat kind of fades into a wispy whisper of peat for me. But I don't know. I know this isn't like it's trying to say it's a peat monster.
Right.
So I appreciate that there's some peat in there. And I know it's a blend.
Even the other one though, the cask strength one was just a wisp of peat. I mean, there's just a ribbon, just a light peat in there, but you could get it. Same here. This would be interesting to try next to it. I don't know that this one necessarily feels 21 years old.
Right. Well, and if you're talking
good.
21, the peat's going to be dissipated even more due to the year. That's why I like the peat's young.
It's a blend, those, and how much percentage of the peat did they use with the
Right. And
Glenallachie and the
yes.
Speyside?
But if it's a 21,
Blend.
the youngest would have to be a 21 that's in
right.
there. So
Yeah, so you're still not talking a heavy, probably.
you're right. It shouldn't be a strong peat flavor
I'd
anyway.
like to spend more time with this one because I think I would like to see that 21 years show a little bit more.
On the finish, I'm getting a little bit of a caramel lozenge finish. I don't ever know if I've ever got a caramel lozenge. Maybe it's the peat that gives me a little bit of that antiseptic. I put the water in already for mine.
Did you do mine?
Nope. I wasn't sure you wanted it. I don't think I did yours.
Caramels.
Yes.
That was before. I just added the water. That's before the water. Just a nice, rich caramel, dolce, chocolatey, berry.
The forefront is where all the flavor is for me. And it's not just peat. It's a spice medley. It's an oak hint.
Yeah. All right.
It's a wispy smoke layered through, trickled in, and a caramel finish. I mean, it's very nice. I like it.
I'm taking back my waiting for the 21 years to show because I think it is. As I've taken more sips and gotten it on the palate, it's really showing more layers now. And of course, that last sip was with water, but I'm really getting more of the sherry showing now, along with the peat. The peat is still 30, I would say 30% peat, 70% sherry cask influence here, or maybe
18
even
peat.
ex-bourbon.
18 peat.
18.2.
18.759 or. Yeah.
And I think this is, as this gets some air and oxygenates.
About 3-4 weeks ago, somebody ripped on us saying that you got to open your bottle for 6 hours before.
Sure.
And I said, sounds great.
We should
Run
also
your bar.
drink. We should
Right.
also drink half of the bottle and
Yes,
sample
and
it
then
before.
come back after
spend
3
6
months to see if it's changed.
Sure.
Try a different glass
Yeah,
configuration.
exactly. Yeah,
Right.
morning, afternoon, and
Yes,
nighttime
yeah,
samples.
you got to open. We can wake up at 1 in the
You got to
morning.
try it after a
Try it at
burrito
1. Try it at 1
with
Right.
bread.
Yeah, after a feast.
There's so many.
And then you want to do it after a fast. We call that feast to fast.
That's a proper. If you want to do a proper review,
Feast to fast.
you do all those
Yeah,
things.
we call it, and you got to go around the clock.
Yep. And then a year later, you get your review posted, and the whiskey's no longer available.
Right, and then people are mad because you can't even find it.
Yeah.
Can't even
But you
find
had
it.
a $1,000 bottle.
How
now.
long you had it? There ain't nothing left, bastard.
You can't take that long. You can't do that
My
before and after
goodness,
the
you went
music.
round the clock and feast to famine. I did the front and this, not the dirty finger. I will say on that note, this, even in the finish, is warming up to me. I'm enjoying it even more in the finish. I got this lingering caramel wisp of smoke minutes after I've had the last sip. This one's hanging around, which is very indicative of peat. It's one thing I like about peat.
And age.
Yes, that's true too. With a little caramel note still present. The caramel is strong in this one, unlike the Acolyte, which I haven't watched.
We won't go there.
Sorry, never mind.
This show.
No.
91.
Wow. Although it could gain on me, I'll go 89. It's not going to pop in. I think part of it is I hear peat and I feel like a promise has been made. I feel like a promise has been made of peat. When I discover the peat, when I find the peat, like in the Spectra, I feel like a special superpower. When I'm told the peat's in there, I want to be punched in the face with it. And when I'm not, I have a hard time with subtlety. Is it there? Yes. But I would never hand this to someone and say there's peat in this because they'd go, what? That's just me. It's still very good. I got a feeling this one would grow on me. I do feel like this one will stay with you. You're enjoying it more. It's a 21 year. And if I had a peat, I'd want it to slap me around and get soot in my mouth.
All right.
What say you?
$190.
Yeah, I figured it was going to be high. All the more reason you can keep it. I don't care.
It's good.
There's good there, but it doesn't wow me.
Yeah, I would agree. It's not wowing. It is good. It's worth trying. That is the top end of I think where it should be. I think that's what the 21 years is getting you. It's what Billy Walker is getting you. It's what a Glenallachie blend
I
is getting
usually
you.
love his stuff too. I mean, it's not that I hate this. Maybe it's the peat promise.
Yeah. But anyway, we had Dustin at R&J Discount Liquor here, Wichita. If you're in town, go check them out. Totally unsolicited. They don't pay us.
Discount Liquor, Douglas. Kind of a rough neighborhood.
He had sent me, he got some stuff in and he had a 16-year-old Kilhoman.
Ooh.
16 year.
Wow.
That's old. So I was like, well, yeah, we'll take
Thank
it.
you. Yeah.
We'll take it.
Got it.
It was $300. And I'm like, not that it's not worth that. I was like, how much is that Reek?
You put it back. That's fine. Good move.
190.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that's a better.
That's right.
And we really like the Reek cast strength as well. And I think this is really good. I think the 190 range is top end here. If you can find it cheaper than that, definitely. If this was 150, I'd be a little bit more enthusiastic.
What does the peat head say? You know me. What do I say about that?
I can always go get Ardbeg 10.
And
Everything gets compared to Ardbeg
the
10.
peat's stronger and the price is cheaper. And it delivers.
We review whiskeys.
I know. I'm talking to them, not to the reviewers. I'm talking to the folks that don't review. If you love the peat, you're not going to want to go spend the money on this. It's not really a peat delivery.
Well,
it's not a peat delivery.
yeah.
If you're a connoisseur of fine whiskey, or we had somebody else that says $500 whiskey doesn't faze me. Okay, Richie Rich, it would faze me. So, but if you're a peat nerd, peat head, peat aficionado, there's a wisp of peat in here. Maybe a little bit more than a wisp, but it's not worth that much money.
It's a little bit more than a wisp.
Yeah,
It does have peated on here. And we also did not mention natural color, non-chill filter. So, which I would expect coming from Billy Walker.
very good. Very good. But all the peat heads know that I like my peats young, baby. Punch it up.
I don't know if a peat head, though, would go, oh, that 21-year Macnair's Reek, give it to me.
Give it to me. You made it dirty. May I have another?
I mean, peat heads, you're
Right, that's
your
what I'm
basic,
talking
no,
about.
but your basic beginner peat heads,
Even deep
mid-level.
peat,
If it
even
doesn't
heavy
have,
peat head.
Lafroig, Ardbeg, Lagavulin on it,
Not necessarily true.
Lacheg, they're
No.
probably not buying it.
No, I don't think that's true. They
Anybody
want
that
peat.
buys this is going to know. You're a little bit more in
It's like compass boxes.
the
of
know.
blended peat.
You buy this because you see it's blended Glenallachie, it's
But why
blended
do they
Isla whiskey.
Why do they put a peat sticker on the
It's
front?
21 years because it's peated.
And they want to attract into peat people.
Well, no, it's not that big. Or they
Big enough.
put peat
It says
across
peated.
there.
Look at that.
They'd have like slap
Look,
you in the
don't
face
hold it.
peat.
Look at that. The big old thing looks like a special
But it-
stamp.
is
It's
it-
peated.
That's not lying.
No,
it's peated.
it is, but that's why. But
That's
I'm just
not-
saying.
it's not
If you're
you're saying that's
peathead,
misleading.
I'm not saying misleading. It's in there.
That's what you're
I'm saying
insinuating.
that a peat aficionado
It's still going to like it.
should know that once you hit peat at 21 years, if you really love the peat, you want her younger. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm
Let's
saying.
wrap it up.
Yeah, Scotch It. You. Oh, hold
That's
on.
the- no, that's the real Scotch
No,
It.
no. Tested.
Let's launch it.
Dummies.
Dummies. Little reversal.